Time being 6 o'clock, we call the public hearing for the school budget to order. Do I have to do a roll call?
Of us?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Okay. Starting with the school budget, Ms. Moran, would you have anything you'd like to say about it?
We do have a packet available. We'd like you to read through the budget overview. Is that helpful?
Either that or if there's anything you wanted to add to it.
Other materials are in the packet. Something I would like to just highlight is we do, as part of our ability to incorporate it into future default budgets, we do notice the public of leases or contracts that we have that are multi-year. You will find that on page 16. So I just want to make sure people are aware of that, as well as we do have, starting on page 17, we do have a teacher contract that's being proposed as a separate warrant article, and the highlights of that contract are outlined in that summary.
Where will this be available for people that are watching someone to be able to look at?
So we'll be on our website. You can go to the school website, Ashland Elementary School, and there'll be a link there, or you can go to the Ashland School Board website, and it will be posted there.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions before we get started? Okay, as an overview, the proposed operating budget is $4,178,000. This is an increase of $215,934, or 4.79% over the last year's budget. The default budget will be $4,733,184, correct? Okay. The biggest increases in those are the health and dental. The health and dental insurance increase and subscription changes represent close to $143,000 in the proposed budget. Regular education has an increase of $4,500. Special education is actually down this year by $5,600. Extended school year has an increase of $5,600. Stop me if anyone needs me to. Bilingual is an increase of $18,000. This is due to increased required service. Speech, you're taking money out of the special revenue fund to help fund this. So that is actually not really affecting this. You're taking $68,000 out of the $150 that's in that account. Technology is an increase of $3,500, and this is really for the Google licensing and stuff, for the Chromebooks. Curriculum development is a significant decrease of $31,750, and that's because of the books that you've purchased over the last few years, and this is the dividend of what we've been doing. Office of the Principal is a salary increase of 4%. Operation of plant is an increase of $1,500 due to the cost of goods. Increase of $15,000 for electricity, and an additional $15,000 due to replacement of equipment and the cost of the filters for the new air purification system for the school, correct? Right. Those filters cost $7,500, and you have to change them twice a year, just so people know. Building and equipment is an increase of $21,600, which $10,000 is budgeted to hire new professional services to complete the review of documentation of the building systems so that we can get the old pipes and everything that keep breaking on us fixed and brought up to speed. Regular student special education, athletic, and co-curricular training. This is really the buses, and that is an increase of $12,902. And the cost of distribution, which is the non-bargaining staff, that is a 4% raise for them, and that's $9,200. Those are the big changes in it. Did I miss anything?
If I could just add the $10,000 for in professional services, it won't fix things, it will help us build a plan.
Right, so the
Yes.
plan is moving forward.
Correct, and I see that as an initial plan, probably additional funds will need to be added in a future year to expand on that plan. But we are hoping to focus on plumbing.
So this brings up a budget of $4,721,778. Do we have a motion on the budget with or any other questions? Seeing no other questions, shall we just move to the warrant article? Page 22 of your packets. Warrant Article 1 is for the school officials. So there are 2 school board members for the ensuing 3 years, a treasurer for the ensuing 2 years, a district clerk for the ensuing 2 years, and a moderator for the ensuing 3 years. And so anyone from the public who would like to apply, would like that. Article 2 sets their salaries, which is moderator $100, district clerk $20 an hour, school board chairman $500, school board member $400, and district treasurer $1,000. You want to vote on the articles as we read them?
Sure.
Okay. Do I have a motion on Article 2 that I just read?
I will move that we recommend Article 2 as presented.
And do we have a second? Okay. Any discussion on Article 2? Anyone from the public have discussion on Article 2? All those in favor of Article 2 say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to nothing. Improve the costs included in the collective bargaining agreement reached between the Ashland School Board and the Ashland Teachers Association, which calls for the following increase in salaries and benefits at the current staffing level over those periods in the prior fiscal year. 2025 to 2026, $83,843. 2026 to 2027, $91,998. 2027 to 2028, $93,122. Any further to raise and appropriate the sum of $83,843 for the increase of the 2025 to 2026 fiscal year. Such sum represents the additional cost attributed to the increase in salaries and benefits required by the new agreement, though over those appropriations of the current staffing levels paid in the prior fiscal year. Do I have a motion on this? Do I have a second? Do I have any further discussion on this?
We could just point out that this is discussed on pages 17 to 21 in the document.
Did y'all hear that? This is discussed on pages 17 through 21 in the document which you have, and it is available on the school website. Yes, ma'am.
Year 2 is $91,792.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Did y'all hear that? This working?
The salaries for, the bargaining unit was 3%.
The salaries The salaries in the bargaining unit is 3%. Okay. Anything else? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
60-0.
6-0. Article 4 is if the Article 3 is defeated and allows the school to come back and vote it one time. Article 5, this is the school budget. Shall the Ashland School District raise and appropriate as an appropriate operating budget, not including appropriations by special warrant articles and other appropriations voted separately, the amount set forth on the budget posted with the warrant, or as amended by the votes of the first session, for the purpose set forth herein, totaling $4,721,778. Should this article be defeated, the default budget shall be $4,733,184, with certain adjustments required by previous actions of the Ashland School District and by law, or the governing body may hold one special meeting in accordance with RSA 40:13 and XVI to take up the issue of revised operating budget only. This article excludes special warrant articles and any other appropriations voted separately. Do I have a motion?
I will move the figure of $4,721,778.
Okay. Do I have a second? Okay. Do I have any further discussion on the town budget? Okay, school budget, sorry. It's been a long day. All those in favor of Article 5 as written, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 6-0. Do you have anything else to come before us on this budget? Do you have anything else you'd like to add before we close?
Thank you for your support. We appreciate it, for your service to this important part of the government and civic process. Thank you.
Okay. So, declare the school public hearing on the budget closed at 18:12. Okay. Time being 18:13, I call the town public hearing on the budget to order. I'm going to go through the entire budget and I'll highlight the changes. We are looking at a total town budget of $3,968,561. Under the executive, there is a change of $90,000, and the purpose is for hiring a new town manager. It is a split with the water department and the sewage department and septic receiving and electric, which brings it to a total of up to $120,000. Any questions on the executive? Elections and registrations. The total is $52,768. The changes are $101,200 for the clerk to send out reminder letters. That is up from $500 last year. And for the purchase of a new ballot machine of $7,500, which will be here and in use for the March election, we're told. We have to buy it regardless. Any questions on election? On financial, The big change, this is 176,672. The big change is $29,931. This line pays for the payroll processing fee. It also includes the new accounting platform implementation, which will be paid over a 3-year process. We are currently in year 2 of the 3-year process. Any questions on financial? Property and taxation. $26,279 is the proposed budget. The new assessing clerk position calculated at $8 an hour per week. In order to update the tax cards, we need to pay someone to do that, and that's what that will be doing. Any questions on that? Legal is $30,000, the same as it has been for years, and it's kind of a shot in the dark. Personnel administration, there really is no significant change there. That's $693,744. Any questions? Land use board, that's $18,737. The increase here is increased hours for the land use assistants for what she's actually working so that we can pay her. Any questions? General government, there is no change here, it's the same as it has been. It's $45,861. Cemetery is a grand total of $1. Stop me if you have any questions. Insurance, again, no real change here. It's $84,237, and that insures the property of the town. Economic Development Committee, this is a new line, and we're funding them at $1 for the current year. If they need money, we'll work with Fred to find that. Police Department. So this is $633,588. A little bit. The changes here are police overtime. That is we've done a 3-year average, and they put it at $30,000. That's up from the previous years. And that's to cover overtime of officers and details. Correct, Chief? These lines are really small. Computer system maintenance is up this year due to vendor contracts and replacement of 2 computers at $18,000. And PD equipment purchases is up to $10,000, and this includes the purchase of an MDT, which is a device you use in your cruisers, correct, Chief? Yep. And that's all the changes in the police department. Any questions there? Ambulance. Ambulance is $190,000, and this is an expense for a contract with Plymouth for transporting at nighttime. Correct, Chief? Fire department, we have no changes. Yes, sir.
A question on the line for mutual aid dues. I received the proposal from mutual aid, and it is different from what we posted.
It's different than the 31,000?
Yes, it is.
Oh. Okay.
It's actually, their proposal was $33,903.41.
Can I have that? This is up from what you...
Yes,
Couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, when they did that, they hadn't posted on their budget.
So 903, so 904.
got 2497. Does that sound right?
So what would be your grand total at the bottom?
Um, Somebody should check my math.
Yeah.
I have 45401. If my first figure is right, I think that might be right.
Give me just a second. I got it. 2858. Is that what you had, Dave?
What?
What'd you have for a difference?
I had a total under budget committee.
Yeah. $33,904 minus 31,046 equals 2858.
Wait a minute. I thought you said 33,903.
It's 904 because it's 903 and 41 cents.
But I don't see, but we had proposed 31,046.
Right, 33
I reversed.
904 minus 31046 equals 2858. Correct?
Yes, you're right. I reversed
Okay.
two of the numbers.
Okay.
So that changes the.
Plus 451,704 equals 54,562. Correct?
Did you say?
Fif-
No, it's 436,875.
I have 454, 562.
Okay, yeah.
Yes? Okay. All right. So the changes to mutual aid dues, which is now a voting thing from Lake Region Mutual Aid, and a solid number. Chief is indicating it is. Do I have a motion to change the budget by $2,858 increase to a total of recommended of $454 and $54,562?
Yes.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. So we'll have to add that to the bottom line. Okay. Anything else on the fire department? All right, building inspector. Building inspector has been increased to $40,186. And this is due to a new contract where we'll be sharing the building inspector with the Plymouth building inspector, making a full-time type position. Emergency management is up to $7,000, and this is to pay for the emergency generator, which has been repaired. So now they want us to pay for it, imagine that. Okay, that brings us to Public Works. The increase here is to $80,873 under salaries. This is a new pay for the contract. That brings Public Works to $319,297. Any questions there? Highway and streets. The big change here will be under equipment, which is $13,043. This includes an additional $6,543 for the purchase of a F-350, and the remainder is to come from the highway improvements, for a total budget of $276,468. Town mechanic, $92,319 is a change here. This will include one full-time and one part-time stipend for a town mechanic, and $2,700 that includes the replacement of one of his computers, for a total budget in mechanic of $109,172. Any questions? Transfer and recycling facility. Big change here is $91,149. This is to hire one full-time and this is to fund one full-time and two part-time positions at the transfer station. Also, $8,760, which is a new contracted amount for the landfill testing, for a total budget of $256,259. Health costs, there is no change here. A total budget of $235,355. Animal control, no change here, $1,133. General assistance, there is a change here where we have increased to $20,000 for general assistance. This increase is because of demand for assistance, for a total budget of $31,226. Parks and Rec. The change here is $38,880, and this is for salary realignment, for a total budget of $74,655. Campground. There's really no change here. The budget is $17,448. Summer Parks and Recreation Program. Again, there's no change here, and the budget is $85,702. The after-school program. Again, no real change. The budget is $27,400. This brings the total Parks and Rec budget to $205,206. Memorial Park. This is for electricity and water at Memorial Park. Again, it's no real change. The budget is $760. It just pays for electricity and water as needed. The library. Again, we have not had any real change there. The budget is $105,961. Patriotic purposes. Only thing left here is Memorial Day supplies, which are the American flags that they give out, which is $1,200, and the Heritage Commission of $1. So a total budget of $1,201. Conservation Commission, a budget of $1. That brings us to debt services. We are happy to say that currently there are none, so it is 0. Interest on long-term bonds. Again, we are happy to say the grand total was 0. Tax anticipation notes. The grand total being $1. That brings us to the end of the town budget. Marissa, do we have a total? Okay. 400 what? Okay.
Run that by me.
3,971,419.
And that includes the one change we made.
That includes the one change for fire department mutual aid dues. Do I have any discussion on the town budget? Hearing none, do I have a motion on the town budget?
Well, I will move the new figure of $3,971,419.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Does anyone from the audience have anything to say? Hearing none, I call the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? So it will be 5-1. Okay. Yep. That moves us on to the water department. Okay. The water department major changes are really in the salary lines, and the second year of the meter replacement project. That brings the total budget. Oh, and the water department is paying also $25,000 to a water department portion of the grant. This brings the total water department budget to $403,578. I'll give you a minute to look through. If you have any questions? And Fred, this is available at the town hall and online. So anyone that's in the audience and viewer land can watch it and look at it from there. Do I have a motion on the bottom line?
I'll move the $403,578.
And do I have a second?
Second.
And do I have any discussion?
I have a question. What is the percentage of increase of the manager's salary from last year to this year?
It's contracted 3%. Do I have any other questions? Hearing none, I will call the motion of $400,305.78. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes 6-0. This brings us to the sewer department. Again, the changes here are the salaries of the health insurance and retirement has been recalculated to be appropriate them with the septic receiving lines. Septic receiving is a new category for the town. The other new lines is an accounting of septic receiving and salaries for such that have to be calculated in so that it's a standalone department within the department. That brings the total septic department to $877,838. Do I have any questions from the public? Do I have a motion from the board?
That's
I have a motion to pass the amount so read. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Do I have any discussion from the board? Hearing none, I move the question of the septic budget of $877,838. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously, 6-0. This brings us to the electric department. The big changes here are on the electric building repair and upgrades and the electric line maintenance. The storage building needs to be heated and to have fire protection installed. And also, Hicks Hill needs rewiring. It's $25,000 for the upgrades and $55,000 for the rewiring of Hicks Hill, correct? Okay. That brings a total, including the power purchase, to $3,508,859. Any questions from the public? Do I have a motion from the board?
So,
I have a question.
Yep.
Why is the Riker Medi, whatever, lines? There's no amount there this year
Where?
under the superintendent? Okay. So different one. Okay. Thank you.
There you go. It's duplicate lines from the previous year. Okay, do I have a motion from the board? Oh, you moved it? You seconded it? Do I have any further discussion from the board?
I do foreman salary. What does that represent?
It's all the contracted 4%.
Yeah, that line is, I think you're right, but it includes the contract, you put heavy on top, so we love
Right.
to get.
He gets a stipend on top of the raise for his on-call.
gives up 2 weekends a month.
Any other questions from the board? Are you ready for the question? All those in favor of $3,508,859 say aye.
aye.
Opposed? Motion is 5-1. Is there anything else that you would like to discuss at the public hearing on the budget? Is there anything else that the public would like to say? Hearing none, I close the public hearing on the budget. Oh, that's, all right.
We've done 4.
Okay. So, we've done Article 3, correct?
4, 5, and 6.
So, Article 7. So we are on the town warrant articles now. Page 3. Shall the town of Ashland vote to accept? Article 7 has no monetary value, so we do not vote on that. That brings us to Article 8. Article 8 has no tax impact, but it is a monetary thing. It is to raise and appropriate $25,000 to be deposited into the contingency fund. Shall the town of Ashland vote to establish a contingency fund for the current year for unanticipated expenses that may arise and appropriate $25,000 to be deposited into the fund. The sum to come from the unassigned fund balance and no amount to be raised from taxation. Any appropriation left in the contingency fund at the end of the year shall lapse to the general fund. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Or,
You need a motion.
see, okay. All those in favor of Article 8 say aye.
First, motion for Article 8.
Yeah. Do I have a motion for Article 8?
I'll move it.
Okay. We went through this all last night.
Yeah.
Fine. All those in favor of Article 8? Yes, ma'am.
It doesn't say that.
Yes, it does. It's nothing from taxation.
That's correct. It doesn't say taxation from this year.
Hold on a second. It's in the statute.
No.
You can't help it, you don't believe that, and that's the way it is. Department of Revenue, if you pass this, will not see that money raised.
That money is raised from taxation in previous years. It is going to be $45,000. I'm sorry, but that's the way I do it.
Well, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. That's not the way the law
Is
is.
it correct or not?
Yeah, well, it's your opinion.
That's correct. It is my opinion.
Just say that it's not raised like that.
It's not raised from this year's taxes, is what we're saying.
That's correct. It's not raised
That-
from this year's taxes. I didn't say that. I said it is raised
From previous years,
from previous years.
which is the unanticipated fund balance, unassigned fund balance.
Fred, is this language set in the statute?
Yes,
This language is required by the Department of Revenue.
So we really have no.
we have no choice in what it says, because it is what they tell us it has to say. All those in favor of Article 8 say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5 to 1. Article 9. Shall the town of Ashland vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $75,000 to be added to the Fire Department Capital Reserve Fund established in 2013 for the purpose of repairing and purchasing fire department vehicles? Do I have a motion on Article 9?
I will second.
And do I have discussion on Article 9? Any questions on Article 9? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Article 10, Police Department. Capital Reserve Fund, Police Department, Police Station. To see if the town of Ashland will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $10,000 to be added to the police station capital reserve fund established in 2024 for the purpose of purchasing or constructing a police station. Said funds to come from an anonymous donation for which funds are being held in the general fund. This has no tax impact. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Do I have discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Police Department Car Capital Reserve Fund, estimated tax impact of 7 cents. Shall the town of Ashland raise and appropriate the sum of $30,000 to be deposited into the Police Department Capital Reserve Fund established in 2013 for the purpose of repairing and purchasing police department vehicles? Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Do I have any questions, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Article 12, Public Works Capital Reserve Fund, estimated tax impact 7 cents. Shall the town of Ashland vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $30,000 to be deposited into the Department of Public Works Capital Reserve Fund established in 2016 for the purpose of vehicle and equipment replacement and repair? Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Do I have any discussion?
I'm just wondering, for the purpose of purchasing, is it?
The question is about purchasing, chief? No? Oh. Okay. Craig, what are you looking to purchase?
Nothing out of this right now.
So you're building the fund up?
Just building the fund, because we got the new trucks in, that will mostly be depleted because the new truck's on its way. And we ordered full action, so that kind of leaves it well completed, so just back on rebuild.
Okay.
No, I was just wondering about the wording of the language of the article. It doesn't say anything about purchasing. Is the word missing, or is that?
What says replacement? You wouldn't purchase the vehicles, just replace additional vehicles.
Replacement only there.
Yeah.
So we replace the vehicle.
Okay.
I mean, I could change it to purchase.
Well, I don't know. This seems to leave out what you're going to use it for. Okay. If that's the way it is, I'll move for the article as it is.
It's already been moved.
Oh.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Article 13, Road and Bridge Capital Reserve Fund, estimated tax impact 33 cents. Shall the town of Ashland vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $150,000 to be deposited into the Road and Bridge Capital Reserve Fund established in 2013? Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Do I have discussion?
How much money is in that fund now?
The fund is pretty much depleted every year.
It's not much now because in the past, we've been able to save about, like $25,000 a year, but because of the increase in paving of can, we're spending just about every bit of it every year. So there might be, I don't know, 50 or 20 grand in there, but we have to start saving up really for like roads like North Ashland Road that are 3 miles long. So I need to start building a bank.
How much is a mile of pavement?
Well, if I was to do a mile of pavement, it would be close to, what do I get now? Just on an overlay, it would cost about $300,000 to do all of North Ashland.
Which is 3 miles.
So we need to start building. And not have to wait 3 years to pay them.
Right.
If I wait 3 years and go live in a year, that means something else is waiting 3 years.
Right.
We just need to start building.
Answer your question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 6-0. Article 14, Building Maintenance and Repair Capital Reserve Fund, estimated tax impact 11 cents. Shall the town of Ashland vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $50,000 to be deposited into the Building Maintenance and Repair Capital Reserve Fund for the purpose of maintaining and repairing all town buildings? Do you have a motion? Do you have a second? Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. 6-0. Library Capital Reserve Fund, estimated tax impact 5 cents. Shall the town of Ashland vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $25,000 to be deposited into the Ashland Library Capital Reserve Fund established in 2015 for the purpose of purchasing buildings and or renovating a facility, including furnishings and equipment, for the Ashland Town Library? Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Do I have discussion? Martine, did you want to say anything about this?
Briefly, we have developed, or in the process of developing a plan to do an expansion of the library, which will be done in stages. First stage would address handicap accessibility, parking. Another stage would include replacing the children's room. And third stage would involve some interior renovations and reconfiguration.
And these plans are available at the library?
There is a draft of a plan at the library. It will continue to evolve a little bit as we find things, but it is on display at the library.
And you also did a presentation to the board of selectmen which outlined everything. It is available online if people want to take a look at it.
And as we get more detailed information moving forward, we will do some more presentations for the public.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion passes 6-0. Article 16, Ashland Police Department radios, no tax impact. To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $10,000 for the purpose of purchasing new radios for the police department. Said funds to come from the unassigned fund balance, the balance of the purchase to come from a grant funding. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Do I have any discussion?
The only thing I'd like to say is that from what I understand is that these radios that the police department have are very old. Is that not true?
That's very true. They've been used by a number of years, I've been here since 2015. There are several frequencies from the area that have been updated on our radios. So we can't even, a lot of the times we can't even reach dispatch on our portal, which pretty much anywhere in town. So we're just desperately need some radio. We're having a hard time getting the program, very hard time getting our dispatch. We can't even speak to Craig, which is a little bit crazy. I can hear her, but I can't talk to her. So that's how I'll get the radios.
I mean, they're getting a sizable grant to be able to do this as well.
Yes. Yeah, we've been fortunate enough where even we based the pricing that's listed on the MSRP price because the quote that we are currently operating off of listed sale prices. So it might be a little bit less, and then we're looking at 50/50 matching grants also. So there are a number of other ways that we're going to try to bring this down, assuming that it will pass. We're working every avenue we can. We've applied for grants for the last 3 years for radios. We've been denied every time.
So from what you're saying, that if you're in a situation where you need help and you depend on your radio, it's not working, You got it, actually.
For sure. It's the way it's been for a couple of years now. That's why I've been trying so hard to get grants.
That is really
To
sad.
handle this videos. And, you know, the lieutenant is using one of the older radios that we have, and he's making a run up to our third floor storage area to scan parts on a weekly basis. He just broke it up in lieutenant's week, because they're so old, that radio is so old, it's not long. So he's breaking parts out almost a weekly basis at this point.
So I don't have the right terminology here, but it's my understanding that we have so much money that is not being used or is from bad taxes that you could have used to buy radios.
I can't speak to that.
I am.
Well, you can, but.
Okay, so
So I think that's sad.
on Article 16, we have any further discussion on Article 16? Yes, ma'am.
I just have a question. Will the 10,000 and the balance be sufficient actually to buy what you need?
Yeah, so we were able to get some money from the county. So the total cost was, I don't have it off the top of my head, for what we're looking to get. But then we just recently got some money from the county, I think it was $16,000, $19,000. So between the $19,000 that we're getting from the county, plus the $10,000 that's going in here, that's sufficient to compensate what we're looking at. And that's what came from the budget. Any other discussion? All those in favor of Article 16, say aye. Those opposed, motion passes 6-0. Article 17, Parks and Recreation Revolving Fund. Oh boy. Shall the town of Ashland vote to establish a Parks and Recreation Revolving Fund in accordance with New Hampshire Revised Statute, Antidote Chapter 31:95-HC, into which will be deposited fees collected from the rental of the town of Ashland, Edward N. Doggett Campground, not to exceed 12% of the total fees collected. Money in the fund shall be allotted to accumulate from year to year and shall not be considered part of the town's general fund balance. The fund deposited into the fund may only be utilized for the purpose of maintenance of all facilities under the Parks and Recreation Department. The town treasurer shall have custody of all monies in the fund and shall pay out of the same only upon order of the Board of Selectmen. No further approval is required by the legislative body to expend. Such funds may be expended only for the purpose for which the funds was created. All those in favor? Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Do I have discussion?
I noticed that the Board of Selectmen was 301.
One person had to abstain, the Parks and Rec director. Do you have any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those,
I think I'm
all those opposed, and those abstaining. Okay, it's 501. Article 18 has no monetary impact, so we don't vote on that. Article 19 has no monetary impact, so we do not vote on that. Article 20, the estimated tax impact of 3 cents. And this is a petitioned warrant article. We registered voters in the town of Ashland present this petition warrant article to be included in the 2025 Town of Ashland warrant. Shall the voters raise and appropriate $12,000 to Grafton County Senior Citizens Council, Inc. for services for Ashland residents from July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024. Grafton County Senior Citizens Council, Inc. provided services for 107 Ashland residents, and ServiceLink provided services for 14 residents. These services include nutrition, transportation, outreach, support, ServiceLink support, and more. The cost provided of these services was $100,431.07. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Petition warrant Article 21. Its estimated tax impact is 2 cents. To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $9,692 for Pemmy Baker Hospice and Home Health. As a nonprofit agency, PBH&H provides services without regard to the ability to pay and services many uninsured and underinsured clients. Many of these services of PBH&H provided are not covered fully by insurance. The requested appropriation is less than $5 per year per resident. Based on the recent census data, it represents a small fraction of the cost of providing services to the residents in their homes. PBH&H provide home health, hospice, palliative care services in the Ashland community, as well as educational programs, workshops, and bereavement counseling. These services to uninsured or uninsured patients help the town limit welfare payments and medical services. Do I have a motion on Article 21? Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have any discussion?
How did they come up with a figure of 9,692 instead of a round figure of 6,900, 9,600 or 10,000?
I don't have an answer. Last night was the first I'd seen this. I know
I'm
that.
not saying I'm opposed to it.
I know that they provide very valuable service to the town,
Oh, yeah, I'm
and to the
for it.
people of the town.
I'm just asking.
I know that, like I said, it is $5 per census count. It's less than that actually. I don't have an answer. So,
Well, everything there, I believe it's a good organization.
yeah,
I just didn't know how they came up with the
I
figure.
have no idea. Like I said, it's a petition warrant article that we received last night. So we have a motion and a second. Do we have any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Petition warrant Article 22, estimated tax impact of 1 cent. To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $3,876 for the operation of Tri-County Community Action Program, Inc., service programs in Ashland, transportation, energy assistance, weatherization, guardianship, Head Start, homeless intervention and prevention, disaster relief, and Tamworth Dental Center. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Do I have any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Oh, boy. This is a long one.
Want me to read this one?
Sure. Petition warrant Article 23. Go ahead.
To see if the town of Ashland will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $1,250 for Transport Central, a 501c3 nonprofit organization based in Plymouth, New Hampshire. This funding will support our efforts to continue providing free transportation to qualified individuals who lack other means of getting to medical appointments or seeking medical treatment. A qualified individual is defined as someone over 60 years old, a person with a disability, or a veteran who does not have access to alternative transportation services. Since its inception in 2013, Transport Central has been serving Ashland and other towns within our 19-town catchment area. Over the past decade, we've facilitated more than 31,000 rides, with our volunteer drivers covering over 1.5 million miles to assist citizens in need. In addition to transportation, Transport Central offers mobility management services. We assist elderly and disabled clients with a range of transportation-related issues, including rescheduling appointments, finding alternative transportation options, and navigating hospital and agency services more effectively.
All right, do I have a motion? And a second?
Sure.
Do I have any discussion?
Why is the estimated tax impact 0?
Because it comes to less than
Okay, so it's less than.
less than a second. Because they can't put fractions in cents.
Okay.
I can't work with this. Happens. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Petition warrant Article 24, estimated tax impact, 44 cents. To see if the town of Ashland will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $200,000 to be added to the police department, police station capital reserve fund established in 2024 for the purpose of purchasing and constructing a police station. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Do I have any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes 6-0. Petition warrant Article 25. Anticipated tax impact of 1 cent. To see if the town shall vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $3,000 to be deposited into the account of the Ashland Historical Society for the purpose of maintenance and repair of the Whipple House Museum, owned by the town of Ashland. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Any discussion?
Wasn't there a previous warrant article?
It has been warned for the last 3 or 4 years.
That it was either in the budget that money was for all town for maintenance? Wasn't there a?
There was. However, that was really reserved for the administration building, shall we say.
It doesn't say that.
I know it does.
All town.
It does. They don't get money from that fund, generally speaking.
Never.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
To really.
I agree with you on what you're saying. They do not receive funds for the railroad station, the Whipple House, the Witten House, any of those.
So by the town of Ashland?
This is the Whipple House we're speaking about. Yep.
The other 2 buildings are owned by the Historical Society.
Historical, like, you're okay.
That's his good point.
Yep. But they do not receive funds from it, and they do have a very large need of repair for the home, which was built in 1839, 37.
Yeah, we have a number of issues, brickwork, leak chimneys, asbestos in the basement, electrical system, security system. We have no trouble with getting rid of $6,000. It's done.
Does that answer your question well enough?
No, but that's okay.
Okay.
They can't take money except by a warrant article because the building is leased to a third party.
There you go. So there you go.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm at a meeting, I can't talk, say goodbye.
Okay. It's leased to a third party, which is the Ashland Historical Society. Any other discussion?
No.
All those in favor of petition warrant Article 25, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And I'm abstaining.
So what was the vote?
And the vote is 501, and I abstain because I'm on the board of directors for the Woodhouse Historical Society. That is the last of the monetary articles. Any other discussion may come before us.
The only other question I had is when I asked about the salary increase in the electric department for not by the superintendent, by the
The foreman.
foreman. Yeah, and I did some math, and it went from 90,116, a 4% raise, and then 4,600. So the rest of the money would be spent.
That's not, I have not, it's privy to his contract.
No,
Is he on call right now? He's on call two weekends.
also the top.
Yeah, that's the on call one.
Per diem.
For being on call 2 weekends each month for a year. So essentially it's about 6 weeks.
Chief, I have a question. Are you on call at all?
Yes.
Do you get paid for being on call? You do? All
But the
right,
police department on call is contractually based, and it's union based.
okay.
And the union base for the electric guys that are on call is also in the CBA, and that's how it's divided up. So their on call is a lot different than our on call, and it's all based on the union contract.
I just want to make sure that, people who are on call, if one department owned by the town is getting paid, and certainly another department that's on call, their employees should not get paid.
And it's all CBA based, it's all for the union, it's all negotiated.
Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
I realize that it's not up for discussion because it doesn't involve monetary, but I'm just curious about the reasoning, if you know, behind the proposal to dissolve the budget committee.
First I saw that was last night. I did hear about it at the selectmen's meeting. It was a petition warrant article, and that's all I know about it. Yep. Happens every couple of years.
This is a lot.
So our committee is a committee of the public. We're voted in by the public. We oversee the budget, keeping honest people honest. Anything else? Hearing none, we'll close the Ashland budget meeting at 19:14. Thank you very much.